On 13th February 2017, Kim Jong Nam, the older half-brother of the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, was assassinated at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia. Kim Jong Nam was the oldest son of North Korea's Supreme Leader Kim Jong-il. Being the oldest son, he was considered the heir apparent to his father. As Nam grew up, he grew up being a little more progressive and open-minded to reforming things to the better. But this doesn't sit well with his conservative dictator father, and as a result, he loses favor with his dad due to his advocating reform. At around 2001, Nam gets arrested in Japan airport as he tries to travel abroad to Disneyland. He gets arrested for using a fake passport and for faking his identity. All this is because his country did not allow this type of visitation to other countries. Although he was trying to take his son to Disneyland, this news of his arrest gets back to his dictator father Kim Jong-il, and he is very pissed at this point, because to him, the heir to the throne can't be seen going to Disneyland in Tokyo. Disneyland represents capitalism, and worst of all, it represents America, everything Korea stands against. This arrest causes a huge embarrassment to the regime, and as a result, this leads to Nam being passed over for the position of the supreme leader of North Korea. He was then exiled from North Korea in 2003, becoming an occasional critic for his family's regime. His younger paternal half-brother, Kim Jong-un, was then named the heir apparent in September 2010. When Nam's father Kim Jong-il dies, his brother Kim Jong-un becomes the new North Korean leader. Kim Jong-un, however, hates Nam and has tried to have him assassinated for several years. At this point, Kim Jong Nam is living in China. After several attempts of failed assassinations, Kim Jong-un and his regime finally come up with an elaborate plan to finally assassinate him once and for all. Kim Jong-un and his regime decide to open up a YouTube channel and trick two women into killing Kim Jong Nam. In their channel, they will convince these ladies that they have a YouTube prank show where they prank people and post it. Some spies are used to undertake this plan by pretending to be producers of the YouTube show. One of the spies, Mr. Chang, approaches a woman named Siti Aisha, pretending to be a producer of the huge YouTube channel, where they make YouTube pranks. He then tells Siti that he can get her an acting gig with his show. Siti Aisha, who is 25 and from Indonesia, is currently living in Malaysia, working as an escort so that he can send the money to her struggling parents back in Indonesia. With this deal presented to her by the producer, Siti is happy because she finally gets to quit escort work and she can make more money. Per prank, she is told that she'll be paid $96, and this is a good enough deal for Siti, and she agrees. Mr. Chang and the other producers start getting Siti to pull public pranks on people. Some of the pranks involved Siti walking up to a stranger and randomly holding their hand, or putting baby oil on her hand, then running behind a stranger, putting her hand on their faces, smearing the oil all over the stranger's face. She does a bunch of these pranks for like a month or so. Meanwhile, the prank channel has also recruited this other lady called Dawn to help with the prank. One day, the producers call Siti and they tell her to meet them at the airport where they are going to do this huge prank. When she arrived, Mr. Chang tells Siti that this time round, another lady will be joining her in the show, and the lady's name is Dawn. They tell them that both of them will be pranking one guy, so the guy will be double pranked. Apparently, the guy they will both be pranking is Kim Jong Nam, and of course, none of them knows anything about their plan. They are completely clueless. At the airport, Mr. Chang pours a bunch of baby oil on Siti's hands, and then he points to a man in the airport who she is to prank by smearing the baby oil all over his face. Siti then heads to the man, and from behind him, she smears the oil all over his face and runs away. After just around 3 seconds, the other lady, Dawn, also runs behind the same man with a hand full of baby oil, and she smears it all over his face too. After this, the two ladies ran away giggling, knowing that they have double pranked the man. Meanwhile, the poor man, who is Kim Jong Nam, is very confused and he heads to the airport security guards to report that there are two women who have smeared something all over his face and have run away, and that now he's not feeling well. The security guards escort him to the airport medical center to get checked, but his condition gets worse by the minute. His case seems to be very serious and they decide to rush him to the hospital, but unfortunately, he dies on the way. Kim Jong Nam died. He died on the 13th February of 2017. Mr. Chang and all the other producers of the show, who are actually North Korean spies, flee the scene and disappear back to North Korea. Meanwhile, when City and Dawn get from the bathroom where they had gone to wash their hands, they find no producers, and each of them go back to their respective homes with no idea that anyone has died. About a day later, they both get arrested and City is so clueless as to what's going on. She actually thinks that this is another prank they are shooting. They are sent to prison, and upon investigation, it was confirmed that the baby oil smeared on both their hands was no ordinary baby oil, but actually chemicals. On City's hand, the substance smeared was actually a chemical which, when mixed with the other chemical that was smeared on Dawn's hand, creates a nerve agent called VX, or venomous agent X, which is a nerve agent that has been banned around the world because it's considered a weapon of mass destruction, which kills anyone who comes into contact with it, especially when smeared on the face. City and Dawn are both charged with murdering Nam, and 8 months later, the trial starts. And if they got convicted to murder according to the Malaysian law, they will get the death penalty by hanging. The trial goes on for 2 years, and now at this point, the Indonesian government has to get involved because City is technically their citizen. Soon enough, the Indonesian government intervenes and the charges against City are dropped and she is set free. Unfortunately, Dawn does not get out, but luckily, she pleads guilty to a lesser charge, which is voluntarily causing harm by dangerous weapons or means, and they let her go eventually. She serves 3 years and 4 months in prison, and she was released on 3rd May 2019. That's how Kim Jong Nam was assassinated. Thank you guys for watching. Kindly like, share and subscribe. Bye.